We often hear about gain staging, and oftentimes the videos I've seen about gain staging, they always talk about how you decrease, how you reduce your volume. See, engineers, most especially engineers on YouTube, they often create a myth in order to create a very big topic and a niche, around it. We're in a digital era where most of these things, they are like almost irrelevant. When we talk about gain staging, it is not to say that you have to come and be using ruler to measure the sound. No, you are going to have a very different, like a layman explanation here that even anybody can understand it. What is gain staging? Let me tell you something. Oftentimes they say when your volume is too high, it's hitting, you should reduce it. I'm also going to tell you now that when your volume is too low, it is more dangerous to your sound. It's more detrimental to your sound when your volume is too low. So sometimes when you have a sound that is too low, you have to also raise it, increase the volume. Don't just say, oh, because they said reduce the volume. When your sound is extremely quiet, you just leave it like that. No. Do you know that if your vocal does not hit at least 6 dB, it will not sound well on any plugin? So if your vocals does not hit around 6 dB, it will not sound well as much as it should sound. What I do when it comes to gain staging is this. There is no number. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. There is no number. There is nothing like it should be 12 dB. If you think I'm joking, let's do a challenge. Come and do your gain staging on the particular number you believe in. Let me bring my own. I will raise it up more than that. It will be showing red. They will mix and see which one will still sound better. Do you get? So what you should focus on is when, for instance, you play the entire song. This is a song by Chidi. Shout out to him. So if you play this song like this, for instance, when you play the song like this, let's take for instance the chorus. Go to the chorus area. So you just want to loop that chorus part. Let me tell you the proper way to gain stage. You loop the chorus part and you go to your mixer and check the output, the peak level of your output. So what you want to do, don't use mine, I'm just using this as a reference. Because what you need to do, when you go to your mixer, for instance, you go to your mixer like this, you come here, you play, you go to your output. Let's click the output. You go to your output. Your output. You go to your output. So my output right now is saying -7 dB because I've added a lot of processing, so it should be down. But I'm talking about like a new song, a new mix, a new song where you have to start everything from scratch. Once you import all your project files, everything that you're seeing here, import everything, play the vocal, you come to the mixer here. You see what, if it is showing red, like it's showing red, for instance, it's showing red. If it is showing red, or maybe it's hitting +1, +2, +3 dB, what you just need to do is to make sure it is not showing red. The idea of saying that reduce it, maybe on your Cubase you have to go to gain, you now reduce everything to maybe let everything be hitting -6 is a lie. Make sure it's not showing, even if it is -1, it's okay. -2, just make sure it's not showing red without any plugin on the master. Just make sure it's not showing red, even if it is almost hitting the 0 dB. Even if it's almost hitting, but just make sure the chorus is not hitting the chorus area, which is the loudest part of your instrument. Make sure it is not hitting red. That's all. That's all. Don't be. That's why most time you spend 12 hours. I can mix a song within 10 minutes. So don't be killing yourself. Somebody even told me that he used to calculate reverb. This is YouTube, this thing now. This is people making YouTube videos. When they are making sections, imagine somebody teaching you on YouTube. Imagine that person mixing song for Drake, mixing an album for this, an album for that. You will not be carrying calculator and be calculating reverb. What time would that person have and be calculating reverb for all the songs? This is just a myth they create on YouTube in order to get views, and you fall into the trap. There is nothing like it. That will not make your song sound better. There are things that you need to do to make your song sound like professionally mixed. Not when you calculate reverb. There are things you need to know. So these are just me. There is no accurate number for mixing volume. What you just need to do, you just need to follow a particular formula and get used to it. So again, what you do, let me reiterate. You play your song, you take it to the chorus, you loop it, you play. As soon as you play, you make sure it is not touching 0. It's not showing red. That is, it's not showing red on the master. If it is too low, if the song is too low, you see that it is too low, like the entire song is too low on the master. Look at it. If it's too low, maybe it's showing -10, -6. Make sure it's close to the 0. I'm the one telling you. Make sure it's close to 0. The louder your song, the better to the plugin. If your song is too low, your plugin, don't forget there's something like noise. When the sound is loud, there is no noise. You won't hear any noise. But the quieter the sound, the more audible the noise. Every plugin has noise floor. So the more you try to crank the plugin in order to be able to get to the input of the plugin, get the volume of the sound on the plugin, the more you raise noise, the more you raise those unwanted stuffs on the plugin. Do you get? Just make sure it is not too hard on the plugin, which means you shouldn't touch 0. Once it's not touching 0, it's accurate. So make sure on your master it is nearly hitting 0. Don't forget during the mix you are still going to reduce things to balance up. At the end of the day, that 0 you are seeing, it will still come down to -3 by the time you finish mixing.